So, I used to live in a house with five other people, including John and David. I started dating David sometime last year and subsequently moved out to make our relationship more normal. Around the time David and I started getting close, John started to become more hostile towards me. I believe that John also has an unhealthy relationship with alcohol, and after I made some scathing remarks about drunk drivers, I've lost property and friends due to drunk driving, and I stand by my comments, I think his antipathy towards me deepened. He started making awkward comments about me and David before we officially came out about our relationship. AG. How was your weekend? Bet it was intimate. Just really weird stuff. This all came to a head when the house went on a wine tasting trip at the end of last summer. Everyone got trashed, except me and one other girl as were driving, and John absolutely blew up in the parking lot in front of everyone. Not just the rest of the house, but also random passersby who were very bemused. Yelling, screaming at me and David, mostly me, saying that I was intolerable, that he was intensely uncomfortable whenever he was in the room with the two of us, that he couldn't take it anymore, and that my and David's relationship was all he thought and talked about to anyone. He insisted that everyone in the house felt as he did, and that he had been talking to his coworkers about us. He doesn't have many friends, and that everyone agreed. He insisted that we ask the others in the house, as they would agree. They were all shifting uncomfortably during this conversation, as normal people would. I was a little afraid that he would lash out further, and David later told me that he thought that John would hit him. John then flipped me off like 500 times, saying, "Fuck you." Naturally, David and I were like, "We bite F." And we all left him at the wine tasting place. His parents lived nearby, and we had driven his car up and drove home together because it was so awkward. After talking to other members of the house, it turned out that they had absolutely no problem with David and me hanging out together, and we suspect that everything else he said was also BS. Fast forward about a week of me studiously avoiding him. He texts me asking when I'm free so that he can apologize, but I ignore it because it's not my problem. He later corners, literally, I was standing with my back against the wall, and he was standing above me on the stairs. It was such a power play. Ugh, me to non-apologize, saying that he was drunk and has been stressed out with work lately. He assures me that he's seeing a therapist, which, whatever. Okay, so fast forward is a few months. Tensions ease up between us. We can tolerate being in the same room together and even occasionally interact in a neutral manner. I mostly ignore him, though. I then announce that I'm moving out, and tensions worsen. He can no longer tolerate being in the same room as me, as in, my presence seemed to literally repel him. If I walked into a room and stayed for more than 5 seconds, he would leave. I once tried to point out to him that his phone flashlight is on in his pocket, and he snapped at me. I know! I also snapped a little. After 5 months of this bullshit, I felt it was alright, though I do know it's petty, and told him to calm the fuck down, after which he said, "Never talk to me again." I was like, okay, so I haven't since.